today we are going over 8 things I carry in my day pack that you need. Be sure to stay until the end of the video because I'm sure you'll learn something new. Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Jack Billings, CEO and founder of shedknives. And like I said today, I'm going over 8 things that I carry in my day pack that, well, you need. Alright, so let's start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be a very obvious one, which is my backpack. I always carry a backpack, whether I'm going to the gym, for example, I always have a backpack. I'm going into the field, I have a backpack. I'm running errands, I have a backpack. Now, does that backpack always come with me? For example, if I'm going to Walmart, is that coming with me in the store? No. But if I'm going in the field, it's coming with me into the field. So you need to have a pack based on what you're doing. For example, the one I keep in my vehicle, and for all those everyday tasks, that's something I keep different items in. But if I'm going into the field, that is where I use this list that, well, this video is about. So let's move on to number 2. Alright, number 2 is going to be a first aid kit, and you need to have a well-packed first aid kit. First aid kit needs to have various size adhesive bandages like band-aids. That's a solid one. You need gauze. You need the case for the first aid kit. I've seen people during camping trips, they just have a little plastic bag, which if that's all you have, great, but you need the case with it. Get other things like a field reference, a first aid field reference. That's going to have other things, other skills in it you might not know. But you can go to the Shedknives blog or the SK blog on shedknives.com, where I go over different first aid situations, how to handle them, how to be prepared. Some other things, you're going to need gloves, tape, wipes, scissors, stuff like that. So those are all great things to have in your first aid kit. Number 3, if it's not on my person, it's going to be in my bag, and that is a fixed blade knife. Alright, 2 knives I recommend for people who enjoy getting outside, or at least want to. I recommend the 2023 Shedknives US Tonto and the Shedknives, or the 2023 Shedknives Tuatara. Both of those blades are great. You have great uses for both. For example, you can use the US Tonto as an everyday carry, but you can also use it for small tasks in the fields, like creating a fire stick, like a feather stick, or you can start a fire with it. So that's a great blade. Or you have the Tuatara. That is another great one where you can do your larger tasks. You need to chop, you need to cut down a tree. That is a great one to use. So having a fixed blade, folders are great, but you can only do so much with those. So having a fixed blade is awesome. Number 4, duct tape. Now I have to mention, duct tape saved me once from a potentially very bad injury. Now it was bad, but it could have gotten worse. Alright, I was opening my fixed blade knife while I was squatting down on the ground. I was picking it up, so I squatted down to pick it up, and I opened it as I was standing up. While I was doing that, I cut across my right knee, and immediately I applied pressure and looked for some tape. Why was I looking for my duct tape? Because I need to stop the bleed. So I got my mind straight. I thought about what I need to do. Apply pressure, which immediately that's what I did. Apply pressure, elevate the wound, stop the bleed, and just get a clear mind. And once I got a clear mind, I was like, okay, the best way to get out of this, the next best step is going to be wrap this thing up, put a little piece of gauze on it, and tape this thing up so it is sealed. So duct tape, it's great for first aid situations, but it's also great for other things. For example, I just posted a video where I created a spear from the US Tonto and I taped it onto a stick. So you can use duct tape for all sorts of stuff, as you probably already know. Now, just a pro tip, don't put your duct tape directly on the wound if you can help it. I mean, some situations you have to, but other situations, if you can help it, put something underneath the tape first. All right, let's move on to number 5. If you have duct tape, that means you should always have, number 5, 550 cord. 550 cord is a great one. You can use it for lanyards. You want to put a lanyard on your knife? Great. If you want to tie other stuff to your pack, use 550 cord. If you want to use it as markers, maybe I've posted this already, but I have a photo of my 2023 sheep's foot in Skure Orange where I tied on Skure Orange 550 cord as well. That way, if I drop my sheath, I drop my knife, I can find it a little easier. So 550 cord is a great one. You can also build shelters. The uses are endless. Number 6, you gotta have a water bottle and snacks. My friends, you need to stay hydrated and you need to stay energized while you're outside in the field, whether you're on the trail, you're hiking, you're camping, whatever you're doing. If you're outside, you're away from the main base, your house, you need to have water. You need to have food. That is important, my friends. So stay hydrated, stay fueled up, grab some healthy stuff, by the way. You don't want to have some M&Ms out there. You don't want to have a candy bar, okay? You need to have something healthy. Trail mix is great. Yes, there's M&Ms in there, but that's not the entire meal. You need energy bars. You need beef jerky. That's a great one. So stuff like that. Always have water, though. I cannot stress that enough. Number 7. Let's move on to a whistle, okay? This is one that really started to stick with me after I worked at the sailing base in Maryland. I worked at Riding Scout Reservation, where I was the sailing instructor there, and I taught all sorts of people from all around the country who were Boy Scouts, and probably still are Boy Scouts, how to sail. And a common thing for us lifeguards to wear was a whistle, because you gotta get people's attention when you're on the water. So that's an important one, and we always just wore a whistle literally 24/7, even while we were asleep. Just kept the thing on. So that is something that I still have to have either on my person, on my bag. So having a whistle is great, especially in an emergency situation, because you might not be able to see people, they may not be able to see you, but they certainly might be able to hear you. And a whistle, that's a great one. Number 8, let's move on here. Number 8, we have a flashlight. Now you can use a handheld flashlight or a headlamp. Personally, I like headlamps, but a lot of people just prefer the handheld one. So either one, whatever works best for you. Daylight doesn't last forever, just remember that. So having a quality flashlight that's going to last, having a compact, a lightweight flashlight if possible, that is what you want. Also, be aware of your burn rate for batteries. If you're light, I always calculate on the highest setting. Okay, so if you're burning your light or using your light on the highest setting, you need to know, do my batteries last 10 hours, 5 hours, 25 hours, however many hours it is. You need to know, so that way you can bring more batteries. I always bring double the amount of batteries that will be in the field. So if I'll be in the field for 3 days and I know my flashlight is good for 3 days, then I will bring a second set, so that way I have enough power for 6 days. Does that make sense? So number 8, flashlight, you gotta have it. Alright, my friends, so this brings me to the end of the video. If you like knives, if you like fixed blade knives, you need to check out shedknives.com. I'll put a link both on the screen and in the description for you to check out, because I make 100% USA made and USA made material fixed blade knives that I encourage you to check out. You've been watching them the entire video, so you got to check them out, my friends.